Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Torigno, and this is the back side of the Chapter 3 quiz review that my Algebra 1B students received in class today. This is to get you ready for your quiz tomorrow, October 3rd, which is Thursday. Okay, so 8 and 9 is very similar to a lot of the problems we've done so far that have to do with mixtures. Now, we've been doing a lot of like chemicals and acid in the solutions and things like that. This is talking about fertilizer with nitrate, but it really is exactly the same type of thing. We have X pounds of a 15% nitrate solution and Y pounds of a 20% nitrate mixture. We want 45 pounds of nitrate total. So I know that 15% of X, which is 0.15, is nitrate. I know that 20% of Y is nitrate. And together, I want it to equal 45 pounds. Okay, that's my equation for the mixture. And you guys are really good at writing those equations. The one mistake I'm seeing a little bit of is people forgetting that since these are percentages, they need to be written as decimals. Okay, now to tackle that next question, read carefully. It says how many pounds of the 20% fertilizer must be added to 65 pounds of the 15% fertilizer. So you need to ask yourself, is that X or Y? Well, if I look back up here, the 15% is with the X. So if I have 65 pounds of the 15%, that means that that 65 must be my X value. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to plug it in for X into my equation from above. So I'm going to do 0.15 times 65 plus 0.20 times Y equals 45. I'm going to calculate that. So 0.15 times 65 is 9.75 plus 0.20Y equals 45. I'm going to subtract this 9.75 from the other side, which would leave me with 0.20Y equals 35.25. Okay. And then let's divide by that 0.2. And I end up with Y equals 176.25 pounds. And that might seem like a big number. In fact, I know some people got that answer and then thought they were wrong. But remember, what you're really saying is that you've got 65 pounds of fertilizer, but only 15% of it is nitrate. So that's a very small amount of nitrate. We need 45 pounds of nitrate total. So we need, and in this mixture, the one that we're solving for, there's only 20% nitrate. So we need quite a bit of nitrate, and only a small percentage is going to be nitrate. So we need a pretty big amount to get that much nitrate out of that combination. Okay, so this is the correct answer, even if it seems wrong to you. Okay, let's look at 10 and 11. Write an equation for the line parallel to y equals negative 4x plus 5 that has a y-intercept of negative 2. So here's how I want you to tackle these problems. Every time you see something that tells you to write an equation, you are going to need two pieces. You are going to need, every time it says write an equation, you are going to need an M and a B. So if I know it's parallel to this, that helps me with my M value, because parallel lines have the same slope. So whatever the slope is of this line, I can just steal that and use it for myself. So the slope of that line is negative 4. My slope is going to be negative 4. And I got that because the slope is always the number in front of the X. Then I need a y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept of this line is 5, but that's not the line I'm writing. I'm writing a different line. I want my y-intercept to be negative 2. So my y-intercept is negative 2. And then I'm just going to write y equals mx plus b. So y equals, my m is negative 4, x plus b, which is negative 2. And actually, I probably should have just written that as negative 4x minus 2. Okay, same thing. I would take either answer. They're fine. Okay, number 11. Write a line that's perpendicular to this one with a y-intercept of 4. Once again, it says write an equation. As soon as I know that, I know I need an m and a b. Okay. This time it gives me a line still, just like it did up here, but this time I want it to be perpendicular. So that means I can't just steal my slope outright. This slope, there's no number written there, but that's really a 1. Okay, if there's no number, it's really a 1. So my slope right now is -1. To make it perpendicular, okay, perpendicular, I need to do the opposite reciprocal. So the opposite would be +1, and then I need to do the reciprocal. Okay, and this one's going to be kind of obvious, hopefully. The reciprocal of 1 is just 1 over 1, so the reciprocal would also be 1 over 1, which is just 1. So my slope is 1. That was a lot of writing. You probably wouldn't have to write all of that out to do this problem, but I wanted you to see my thought process, okay? In that I have to start with that -1, I have to make it the opposite, so I make it positive, and I flip it over. And it just so happens 1 is the only number that when you flip it over, it stays exactly the same. And my b value, again, is not 2, but it's given to me down here where it says my y-intercept is 4, so that means my b value is 4. So I want to write a line where this is m and this is b. Y equals 1x, which is just the same as x. You could just write it as x, plus 4. Okay? Please feel free to email me tonight if you have any questions. I will be posting a printed answer key also. I will be available in the morning tomorrow, and we will take just a few minutes at the beginning of class to answer questions before you get started on your quiz. Good luck.